The iconic psychic type Alakazam was released back in Generation 1, and it's had a decent history in competitive singles. In its debut generation, it was a top-tier choice, thanks to its high speed and special stats, along with an excellent move pool. You may also associate Alakazam with Generation 5 OU, where it's one of the most powerful offensive threats in the metagame. Alakazam received the ability Magic Guard in Gen 5. This is one of the best abilities in the entire game, and it was a significant buff for Alakazam. But in Generation 3 OU, Alakazam is in a bit of a weird spot. This Pokemon looks good in theory, with high speed and special attack, along with great coverage in the form of the elemental punches and stab psychic. Alakazam seems like it could be a great late game cleaner or win condition with Calm Mind. However, in practice, Alakazam falls short of being an OU level threat in Gen 3. Alakazam too easily invites in Tyranitar and Blissey, who completely shut it down. Compared to other special attacking cleaners and win conditions in the tier, such as Starmie, Jolteon, and Gengar, Alakazam is less equipped to handle these common roadblocks and doesn't provide as much utility to teams. But despite its shortcomings, Gen 3 OU players have occasionally found uses for this Pokemon. There have been rare instances of Alakazam's unique qualities, having the ability to fill gaps in a team or enable specific interactions, and the Pokemon is occasionally seen in tournaments. Let's take a look at the niche role of Alakazam in Gen 3 OU. But first, it's come to my attention that a feature-length documentary has been produced about the most wanted Pokemon on Earth, Sinistee's future paradox form, Iron Mugulus. Some of my own personal findings were cited in this journalistic piece. I urge you all to like this video and subscribe to the channel to avoid confrontation with this evil mug in this trying time, with public awareness of the issue at an all-time high. Thank you. Compared to other fast special attacking threats that take advantage of spikes and apply offensive pressure, Alakazam is mostly outclassed. Alakazam is competing with Starmie, a fellow psychic type who has the benefit of threatening Tyranitar with Stab Hydro Pump, and also has the utility of Rapid Spin. Gengar is another competitor, who has valuable immunities to spikes, normal type attacks and poison, as well as ways to threaten Blissey using Explosion or Taunt. There's also Jolteon, who is much faster, provides a valuable electric immunity to teams, and can keep up the pace against Blissey with Roar or Baton Pass. Alakazam's Stab Psychic does hit hard on neutral and super effective targets, but it's an easy move to stop with many psychic immunities and resistances present in the format. Alakazam has to rely on low power coverage options in the form of the elemental punches and hidden power to make progress. But Alakazam does have some unique qualities that make it worth considering over the competition. Alakazam notably outruns Gengar and threatens to KO it in a single hit. Alakazam can also outrun a max speed Tyranitar after a Dragon Dance, and enemy Starmie. A useful utility option that Alakazam has access to is Encore, a pretty rare move in Gen 3 OU. If you happen to switch in against a Tyranitar as they Dragon Dance, or if they foolishly Dragon Dance while Alakazam is in, you can Encore them, forcing them to repeat Dragon Dance. This can be a nice backup plan against Dragon Dance Tyranitar, the format's most common boost sweeper. Encore can also be used as a form of counterplay against various setup sweepers and walls, forcing Pokemon like Jirachi and Suicune to repeat Calm Mind, or forcing Melodic or Blissey to repeat their healing moves can give you free turns and disrupt the enemy's plan a little bit. Encore is the most significant utility option that Alakazam has access to. Alakazam's ability Synchronize has its uses as well. If Alakazam receives a status effect, the enemy receives the same one. Other fast special threats are much more afraid of coming in against status moves like Gengar Will-O-Wisp or Zapdos Thunderwave, but Alakazam can at least mirror the status to the opponent, crippling something important on the enemy team. If you're using Alakazam on an offensive spikes team, you're going to want teammates who can lure in or apply pressure to Blissey. Alakazam can be quite effective with Blissey eliminated, but that's much easier said than done. Using Explosion on Gengar to nuke Blissey, enabling an Alakazam clean, beat up Charizard who can invite in Blissey and apply pressure to it, or more special threats, who can force in and chip it down with Toxic or Spikes over the course of a game, are some ideas. Famed Smogon gamer Altina used an Alakazam Spikes team like this in a Pokemon Perfect Open tournament against the epic player Zach PZ. Fortunately for Altina, Zach did not bring Blissey in this game, making Alakazam's life much easier. But if he did, this team would have had the tools to wear down Blissey, with Jolteon as a teammate who can rack up Spike's chip damage with Roar, as well as Explosion on Gengar. Alakazam's Encore came in handy in this game, forcing Suicune to repeat Calm Mind and securing the game. The last Pokemon in the team wasn't revealed, but I would assume it's some sort of Rock Resist to handle Aerodactyl and Tyranitar, probably Swampert or Metagross. One cheesy way you can try and answer Blissey with Alakazam is to use Trick and a Choice Band. If a Blissey happens to come in, you can completely ruin their life, giving them your Choice Band and making them useless. But I would not recommend this. It's a pretty inconsistent strategy that's easy to play around. Another direction you can go with Alakazam is using it on Special Offense. Special Offense is a team style in Gen 3 that aims to eliminate Blissey using Dugtrio. On these teams, Dugtrio runs just enough bulk to live modest Ice Beam from Blissey and 2-hit KO it with Beat Up or Adamant Earthquake. With Blissey out of the picture, special threats can overwhelm the enemy, break through and win. Alakazam fits decently on this team style, having some merit over the competition. Alakazam is the fastest Calm Mind user in the format, making it pretty difficult to revenge KO. And if the enemy tries to paralyze you to stop your sweep, they'll cripple their own important Pokemon thanks to Synchronize, allowing your teammates to break through. The player Pokology used an interesting team with this concept in ADVP on a special offense Rain team with Swift Swim Ludicolo. Alakazam was used in the lead slot with the intention of luring in and trading with either Tyranitar or Blissey, while also threatening enemy Salament's lead and matching up decently versus Zapdos and Skarmory leads as well. In this game, the opponent goes to Tyranitar on turn 1, and Pokology sacrifices Alakazam while doing some damage on the way out, to enable a safe switch to Dugtrio. With Tyranitar eliminated, Ludicolo can come in and use Rain Dance, permanently clearing sand from the field, and now posing a huge threat with Swift Swim and Rain Boosted Hydro Pump, while also supporting its teammates. Suicune appreciates having sand removed from the field so it can chip heal with leftovers, and Salakberry Heracross is an excellent late game cleaner once sand is removed as well, no longer worried about fainting to the Sandstorm chip. Using Alakazam as an aggressive lead and a way to lure in Tyranitar or Blissey for a range strategy is one of the more creative uses of the Pokemon that I've seen. Alakazam is not a Pokemon I would recommend using if you're starting out in Gen 3. It's a difficult Pokemon to fit onto teams and properly take advantage of, but like many other UUBL Pokemon in Gen 3, it's certainly viable, and in some situations, it can be the perfect gap filler or surprise threat. Trying out novel strategies and being unpredictable is an important part of competitive Pokemon, and Gen 3 OU is a metagame where you always seem to see these weird choices pop up in high-level games for their random, unique qualities. What do you think of Alakazam? Who's your favorite UUBL Pokemon in Gen 3? And what would you like me to talk about next? Let me know down below in the comments, and thank you for watching. This video topic was the winner of a poll on Patreon and was suggested by Biff the Banana. Thank you for the support, and congratulations for winning the poll. If you'd like to submit a topic for a poll and vote yourself, take a look at my Patreon for more information, and to appear on this magnificent end screen alongside your favorite Pokemon.
The money got different, 'cause of what I'm spending. The money got different,
Oh, it's
'cause of what
Megaphone!
I'm spending.
Whoa!
The money
KO'd
got
by
different,
one hit! It
'cause
scattered
of what I'm
spikes!
spending. The money got different.